Hi guys, I'm Michelle and I'm here today to talk about the Prep app, a vocabulary learning app. Let's begin on why this app is so important, even though on the market there's a lot of apps that's focused on learning another language. The basic answer is its user, and that's why I want to present you Andrea. Andrea is the persona of this app. She is a Chilean immigrant living in Munich, Germany. She has a business degree and wants to apply for a German university for a human resources master degree. Living in this new country has been a challenge for her, but in between friends and German lessons, everything is going okay. Sadly, Andrea has understood that even with her fluent English, she is not prepared to confront some situations. For example, on the immigration office, where she has to change her visa. There, she is only supposed to speak German, and the vocabulary there is complicated. Also, another great example is on a doctor appointment. Maybe she can find a doctor who speaks English or who speaks Spanish even, but the personnel on the clinic doesn't. In reality, she cannot pay for a translator every time she is in one of these situations. Also, the process of learning German is a really long journey, and we are not expecting for her to be so fast to learn an advanced level of German before these situations happen. And she needs a new option, and that's why Prep app was developed. I wanted to give Andrea a tool to prepare herself for any specific situation, to be able to review vocabulary before this moment happens. I don't want her to reach a certain level of German. I don't want to have a long-term understanding of this language. I want her to take just a moment and review this vocabulary. For example, if she needs to go to the dentist, she's on the train and she can review the part of the mouth and she can communicate better with the dentist. It all sounded promising. I spoke with teachers and they say, okay, this is good. I spoke with other immigrants and they say, oh, I will use this app on this idea. I created some categories like jobs, and in this category were other subcategories called situations. In job you can find bartender, cleaning, babysitter, catering, all these jobs with all this specific vocabulary. Other category can be doctors, and situations of subcategories will be dentists, gynecologists, or any other doctor. Every subcategory of situation had flashcards to review the content and the vocabulary. Also, it will have quizzes because you want to give the user the sensation of achievement, of security before this situation happen in real life. After a lot of sketches and wireframes, I had a ready-to-test prototype. I called some volunteers and the same people who helped me with the interviews for this app and for creating my user persona, Andrea. I studied how they interacted with this app, and I would love to say it was a great prototype, that everything went well and there was no problems, but in reality this process is obvious, it's not going to be perfect. There were a lot of problems. The biggest one was that I focused too much in making this process about the situations, and I didn't explain what a situation was on the app. The biggest problem was that this app had no interaction, so the participants took a lot of time to make the tasks. There were also other minor problems, like there were no focus mode while learning. There were too many buttons, too many distractions when you only want to see the flashcards. Also, a participant gave me this feedback about how these situations were really a great idea, but on the quizzes you have to write, and in reality you never have to write. You just want to hear and to say the words out loud, because when you're writing you always can use Google Translate, and this person was right. So after all this feedback and the testing, some changes were made. It was added an onboarding screen before the sign in, where you can see moreover what is this app about. I deleted some buttons that were unnecessary. We added a little bit of color to guide the tasks. We add conversation skills part on the situations, like you had the flashcards, the quizzes, and also a conversational skills part. That was not made till the end because it was too difficult, and these prototypes you cannot add voice, but it's the next step. And also some explanation screens were added in between for explaining the parts of the quizzes and for the flashcards where you have to double tap. Also a part where you explain the desk. And for the end, it's really what I feel about this project, and I really can see the positive and negatives about it. I learned that I love user research, building a persona to try to create these user stories, job stories is part of my favorite part of the project. And also this type of things help to get insights for new solutions and ideas for a problem. Also, knowing new apps was interesting. I didn't know there was an app like Prod App that you can create these prototypes with only paper and a smartphone. For the part that I didn't like, or that I consider I have to work more, definitely I have to say time management. I didn't expect to need so much time, especially because I needed to get some interviewees and contact people, and it's not something that you can do alone. So always when you need to work with more people, you have to manage a little bit more of time. But the biggest thing that I have to work on is that I notice that I focus too much on details, even when I have to see the general view of the project, especially when I had to map the user journey. When I had to from point A to B, I keep stopping in the middle and having little ideas like, oh, this should be like this button, and that's not a step that is for this phase of the project. I had to stop thinking so small and see the general idea, and I hope I can do that for future projects. And it helped me because I didn't know I had that problem. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in another project.